Hey, what's up? This is Julian from the Binary Lab, and some of you know me as the Professional Bum based on my social media channels on YouTube, Instagram, and in my Facebook URL. Alright, so this video I'm going to be talking to you about this topic about saving. Is it really good? Is saving some kind of an evil? Is saving even something that could possibly make you broke? Okay, so I want to start this video by telling you a little bit of a story, real life story. I recently brought my youngest daughter, Kirsty, she is almost 2 years old, to a toy store. And when she was looking around for toys, it reminded me of an incident when my eldest daughter, back then, like 7 years back, yeah, probably 7 years back, was we took her to in Singapore and Malaysia. Maybe you heard of a place called Mustafa Center. It's a place in Serangoon Road, Singapore. So if you came to Singapore, you went to this mall. Basically, it's a huge place where you can find just anything under one roof. It's 24 hours, and in basement too, there's a huge toy store with a lot of import toys, so they're very reasonable prices. So back then, it was a time when I was just starting out online, finding my footing and being able to pay off debt. I still have a lot of uncleared debt at the time, and I wasn't very financially capable of spending. But as you know, like, because my kids were generally raised at home and we didn't go out very much, so it was one of those trips that I felt that it was my fatherly obligation that she should get some toy to play with. So we went to the toy department store. She was looking at this thing and that thing, and then sometimes it was a really huge item, and I would say, sorry, daddy cannot afford that, and she'd show me something. I was like, no, that's not okay, it's too expensive. And finally, she came with me on a third attempt. Okay, she came with me with a long robe. So you have seen this. I put a picture. I cannot find the picture at this time, but I will try to find it. It's on one of my previous like PowerPoint presentations for a talk that I gave. All right, so there's about 9 pull back and go kind of toys, like the kind that you just pull back and go, not very high quality. Basically, like mini monster trucks in different colors. There's 9 of them. It sold for $4.50. So they're 50 cents each. And I was like, well, yeah, that's great. I could afford that. So we got that. But at that point in time, what really struck my heart was that how she somehow, children have that kind of empathy, the ability to understand and sense things. And she could sense that, maybe daddy wasn't doing very well, and for her, that was great. And she had a lot of fun at that. It really warmed my heart. She didn't get bored of it, although nowadays she gets super bored of stuff super fast. ADHD, right? But at that point of time, that kept her engaged for a very long period of time, months, right? And now coming back to this topic, I want to talk about like saving. First and foremost, before I piss off anyone, I want to share with you that I personally feel that saving is a good virtue. It is a good virtue, and also I personally believe in living in moderation. For example, if we earn like 10K a month, we should save a portion of that. If we earn 50K a month, we should save a bigger portion of that. If we earn 100K a month, we should save an even larger amount of that. Okay, that's what I believe in. For what? Well, like, we're not trying to jinx ourselves to say that a rainy day is going to be there when we're gonna save for a rainy day, but we never know. We never like, as positive as we can be, as much as we can do creative visualization for the best possible outcomes. Sometimes we never know when that something that we don't ever intend is going to happen to us. Like recently, I was hospitalized for a very mysterious virus infection that could possibly have taken my life. Never saw that coming. And sometimes you may have maybe the best defensive driver on the road, but somehow out of nowhere, someone who is drunk, whatever, driving the wrong direction, just crashes into you, and you could be out of commission for like 3 months or 6 months, and that rainy day money is going to get you along with that period of time, so they can get back on your feet, and that's good. All right, but now I want to talk more specifically about how saving can make you broke. All right, a lot of people, when they think about their financial ability, they start thinking that how could like when faced with a few different outcomes, think about they are afraid to spend in general. So a lot of people out there And this even affects me sometimes, right? When we take the concept of saving out of context, we take the concept of saving out of context. What I mean is that we end up not spending on the things that we should be spending, and as a result of that, end up spending even more money. A lot of people who solely rely on the concept of saving would think of how can we make a limited sum of money go the longest distance, stretch the longest period of time. If you have no more means of generating income, well, that is the sensible thing to do. But for most of us that are actually able to, hold a cell phone, to and own a computer, we are still capable of doing stuff. Well, let's say if you have epilepsy, and you know, even if someone with epilepsy, while under medication, they still can function. It's like, basically anyone who can hold this phone, tablet, computer that you're watching and use it, you are still of income generating age, income generating ability, and you should use that. Not just think about saving and saving and saving, because when you save, your quality of life goes down, and eventually, when you save, you are doing so with the mindset that what you have today will eventually run out. So let's just have it last for as long as possible. The correct thing that you should do, and I want to describe this out to you because, like, if you read books by Jim Rohn, Robert Kiyosaki, Napoleon Hill, there is a very common saying that is, it's out there just by everywhere. They say that, don't think about you can't afford it. Instead, ask yourself, how can I afford it? Alright? So many times they'll just talk about this. Like, don't say, I can't afford it. Say instead, ask yourself instead, how can I afford it? I want to give you like some examples on how to put this into context. When, for example, if you have a need to spend some money, okay, let's say your car is breaking down. You think that, well, it's time for replacement. I can't afford it. Well, how can you afford it? Like, if you have to take it under finance, but most probably you do, because if you cannot afford a new car outright, you most probably have to take it under a finance plan, hire purchase plan. But your concern is how can we make the payments? So work out what is the payment that you need to do after turning in your old faulty car, and with this monthly payment that you need to do, like, think about in terms of how much extra would I have to make per week, per day, per hour, and we actively look out for how we can do that. And this is precisely along with visualization, because remember in the previous video, by the way, if you haven't watched it, watch it. I made a video about lesson 1 on how to start doing creative visualization, where I talked about taking a very recent scenario and altering certain things and running a simulation in your head about how that worked out. Okay, so now let's say if you break it down to how much extra you need to make, per week, or let's say per hour, and then we can think of, well, what is a way? Well, for some people, there's all these things about, like, filling out surveys. They fill out a survey a day, at the end of a month, they would have that amount required to pay for the car. If it's trading, as you know, I teach trading in binary and Forex. How much would we need to generate in our binary options trades so that we can meet this extra expenditure? Let's say your kid needs to go to high school. From the lower grade to high school, there is a jump in school fee, or perhaps they're going to a different school, and you're wondering, this is the extra that I need to pay every month because school fee is more expensive here. How can I afford it? How much can I increase my capital in my account so that I can trade the same amount and be able to afford this? The problem with saving is that a lot of people who are just stuck on the idea of saving, they lose the ability to think of how to generate money. And like I said, like when you think of a lot of people who think of saving solely, they end up saving themselves, or rather like jinxing themselves in situations where they should be spending. They are oversensitive about the idea of taking out money. And because of that, most people who are stuck on the idea of saving never have any form of passive income. They are not aware of how to use money to generate money. So had these people had a different idea, if they were more receptive of the idea of, like for example, investing, they could possibly have, with all their good habits of saving, all right, been able to live on a day-to-day, month-to-month from profits generated from investments or trading activities. For example, some of you out there may have your retirement fund, or let's say your golden handshake from a retrenchment. You got retrenched, perhaps. Some of you got retrenched, and you right now you're thinking, well, I don't know what we're gonna do. The job market has changed. My skill set is no longer applicable. I can't find a job right now, and I need to make this retirement. So this golden handshake amount, this worker compensation, this early like early fire lump sum of money that the company gave, stretch out for the next few years. But the way it looks, it only can last for a year or two, and how am I going to do that? So that's when a lot of people will get stuck. And if you get stuck in this idea of saving, you definitely run out. But did you know that, let's say, with this sort of money, all right, let's say if there was like 50k put into binary and you trade, well, that's a lot of money. There's a lot of profit you can make. But you may not probably want to start with binary solely, because binary is a fairly like active income, and at the same time that if you are new to trading, you really should spend time to get used to it. Start with a small sum. So I usually tell a lot of people, right, that you have a certain sum of money, you probably want to put like 10% in binary, 9% in Forex. Why? Because in binary you can get a very high return in a very short period of time, but you want to constantly protect yourself from overtrading, because the trades happen a lot more frequently. Like in Forex, maybe you take like 10 trades every 2 days, but in binary you can possibly take 10 trades in 1 hour. And having to trade on that higher basis is a lot more mentally, there's a lot more mental drain, and once you're past your concentration, it's easy to make mistakes. That's why I said, start small and keep it small. So if you have like 50k, you want to probably put like 5k here and 45k Forex. And let's say it was Forex, 45,000. Let's just think 50 and 50k. If the system like it's automated, such as the automated trading system that I have for self-managed, or let's say for those people who have no idea, no time whatsoever, want everything already made and done and hosted, whatnot, get into my PAM program. PAM program in the last not even full month, started on the 18th of February till right now. Okay, it's almost a full month. It's already at 14.8%, nearly 15%. So 15% of 5k, that's like 50k is like 4.5. Did I get it right? Did I get it right? No, I did not get that right. I did not get that right. Hang on. It's 7.85. 7.85k. That's a return. $7,850 per month passive income. For all you know, that could be the same or if not even higher than your previous monthly income. And that can be achieved with your golden handshake or the employer's benefit or suffrage payout that you receive in a lump sum. And the best part is your capital stays there. Okay, the capital is staying in your account, working to produce profit for you on a monthly basis that helps you to live your existing lifestyle or even live a better lifestyle. And if you knew how to save, okay, let's say if you combine this an idea with saving and you reduce your monthly expenses by 20%. By reducing your monthly expenses by 20%, you're able to either save more or reinvest more. And by reinvesting more, you're actually able to compound your monthly return, and so that next month you can save even more or reinvest even more. Would that be good? Or you can even decide that on alternate months, I'm going to be taking that out for pampering myself, and on alternate months, I will save whatever I get as extra. Right? So, on the other hand, this is just, I'm a trader, I teach trading, I provide trading solutions. So this is what I have to share with you on this concept. And let's say if you have always been just thinking of spending your savings, some of you are unemployed at this point in time. If you've only been like spending your savings, trying to moderate it down to save your expenditure, it will run out. But if you decide to do something about it today, it could actually last you infinitely, and it could allow you to live a higher quality of life. Even if you live in an expensive city like Singapore, or let's say Geneva. Alright. Now, in general, like I said, remember this, we're actually coming to the end of this video. Moderation is good, saving is good, but do not try to stinge or censor yourself out from things in life that are necessary, or things that you really want to, but you have to deny yourself because you cannot afford it. Ask yourself, how can I afford it? And break it down into how much extra we must make that per day or per hour, and it becomes a lot easier. And when you think about constantly, okay, you may not have the solution right now. Okay, trading is one. I gave you one solution. But let's say, before you even have a solid idea, I just want you to be constantly aware of how much extra you need to make a month. Break that amount into the per week, per day, per hour. Constantly be aware of that. And visualize, close your eyes with the lights on, because you can see images better that way. Take deep breaths, visualize spending a day with that extra income. How would a day look like? I'm not asking you to spend a day visualizing, but I'm asking you to visualize the important events in a day and how that change, that extra, would change your entire day. From the moment that you wake up and prepare for work, your meal, your level of stress at work, your after work activities, the dinner you take, if you hang out after dinner or not, the things that you can do on the weekend that will be different. Think about that, and I want you to visualize, okay, this day that you visualize going around your regular routine with the now that you have, in the present tense, you already have this extra that you're short of. That this idea is being encapsulated in a pink bubble. And this pink bubble, so the idea has gone to the pink bubble and it's going up through the ceiling. If you live in an apartment, it's going through this ceiling and the ceiling above that, the ceiling above that, and the ceiling above that. If you live in a house, it's just going through the roof and it's going to the sky above, the bright sky above right now. If it's rainy or it's nighttime, it's going to the night sky, the dark sky. And it's rising up into the stars, the universe, the atmosphere, the galaxy. And as it's doing that, that idea is attracting all the relevant energies that could reinforce this idea. And realize that at this point of time, you are now released from this worry that you need that additional sum of income. And up there, it is going to be attracting it by itself. If you are Buddhist or Christian, or if you're a Muslim, all right, you can also, commit this in a prayer. Making a sign of a cross, making whatever, and just committing this to that higher being as well. And believe that this idea is being taken care of. And you will somehow miraculously attract the energies that you need to make this a reality. It will happen. It is easy. It's easy. Work on it. Thank you, my friends, for watching me on this video. This is Julian from the Binary Lab, professional bum, as you know it on my username. Share this video if you found it useful. Subscribe to my channel. And for those of you who are looking for increasing your daily income through trading, I have courses in binary trading. I also teach weekly on how to trade in Forex. And I also offer automated trading solutions as well. Check out the links beneath this video to find out more and get started. Bye for now.